Hey, I'm Aaron Kemkis, and this is Cubeland, a spatial puzzle game with reasoning, card layering, and drafting for 2 to 4 players. A company is attempting to revitalize their image after a rogue board of directors tried to destroy the world of an old arcade game. You must prove you're the most qualified architect to construct Cubeland, a brand new 3D game world. Architects will build their cube in 3D space, acquiring the cards they need through a unique style of preference drafting over 5 rounds. Each card has 2 block colors, and after choosing which one they want to add to their cube, they must place each card on their blueprint board in the orientation that helps amplify scoring opportunities. Cubeland comes with magnetic blocks that allow each player to construct their cube from the bottom up, side to side, and everything in between. And when the game's over, score each level easily by splitting up the cube to score it. In Cubeland, players will be using blocks to build their 3D cube over 5 rounds of 3 quick yet distinct phases. The selection phase. In the selection phase, starting with the first player, each player will take a marker in their color and place it on any numbered or starred circle on a factory board. This will determine that player's preference of what card or position they would like to have for this round. Should a player place their marker on the 1 space, the next player in turn order can choose to place a marker on any 2 open spaces. Should a player place their marker on the star space, they will gain a star token worth 2 points and will pick last. The drafting phase. Now that all players have placed their markers, first pick on each factory board will be made by the player whose marker resides on each 1 space. If your marker resides on a 1 space, choose any card on the factory board, then place it in front of you. Next, any marker that resides on a 2 space will do the same. If your marker resides on a 2 space, choose any remaining card on that factory board, then place it in front of you. After that, resolve the drafting for the 3, 4, and 5 spaces in the following 2 ways. 1. Any player whose marker resides on one of those spaces can choose to take the card corresponding to that space, and this is done simultaneously. 2. Any player who declined to pick the card next to their marker will then pick in numerical order, first 3, then 4, then 5. The building phase. Now that each player has collected their 5 cards for the round, they must choose which block they'd like to add to their cube, and which block color they'd like to score. Do this for each card, collecting cubes from the supply you wish to build as you play each card. Add each card to your blueprint board so that the half of the card showing the block color you chose is in the build row matching the level you placed that block. The other half of the card will be in the scoring row. You choose which orientation to place each card. Example, you have a card with a red and blue block. You choose to add the red block to level 2 and flip the card so that the blue block on the card is in the scoring row for level 3. Every card you collect must be played on your blueprint board, but you may layer as many times as you like. White blocks are wilds, and count as any block color for building or any 1 block color for scoring depending on where it's placed. Building rules. You may add any block to your cube as long as you don't exceed 3 levels high, 3 rows deep, and 3 columns wide. Each block must be added so that it connects to another. You may pick up your cube at any point to examine its contents, but you cannot rotate or flip it. You must start building your cube from the bottom and must have at least 1 block in a level before proceeding to the next. At any point during a round's building phase, you may take one or both of the face-down cards you were dealt at the beginning of the game and use them. You may take the block color from one half of the card and use the scoring of the other, same as any other card. Continue this for 5 rounds, and once every player has a full cube, proceed to endgame scoring. Score 3 points for every side that has 4 different colors. Score 5 points for every side that has all 5 colors. Score 2 points for each star token you have collected. Then, gently separate each level and set them next to your blueprint board, so that level 1 is on the bottom, level 2 is in the middle, and level 3 is above both level 2 and 1. Look at your scoring row for each level, starting with level 1. For each color present in the scoring row for that level, gain points equal to the number of blocks of that color in the scoring row times the number of blocks of that color on the specified level. Example, there are 3 orange blocks in the level 1 scoring row. There are 6 orange blocks in level 1. 3 times 6 equals 18 points. And the highest score wins. Cubeland is a satisfying puzzle with unique drafting, layering, reasoning, and spatial building that seems to defy gravity. Are you up to the task? Prove that you have what it takes to be a master builder in Cubeland.